Maya Chun had always known her family was comfortable, but nothing prepared her for the reading of her grandfather's will. The mahogany-paneled conference room smelled of old books and expensive cologne as the lawyer droned through legal jargon. Her mother, Patricia, sat rigid beside her, fingers white-knuckled around her Hermes purse. To my granddaughter, Maya Chun, I leave the sum of $47 million, along with the controlling shares of Chun Industries. The room tilted. Maya's breath caught in her throat. 47 million? She was a 28-year-old graphic designer who still had student loans. Her apartment had a leaky faucet she couldn't afford to fix properly. There's more. The lawyer continued, sliding a manila envelope across the gleaming table. Mr. Chin left specific instructions that Maya must open this privately before accessing any funds. Patricia reached for it, but the lawyer's hand remained firm. Only Maya, Mrs. Chun. Her mother's jaw tightened, that familiar look that had defined Maya's childhood. Disapproval wrapped in designer clothes and perfect posture. That night, alone in her cramped studio apartment, Maya's hands trembled as she broke the seal. Inside was a letter in her grandfather's distinctive handwriting, along with a sealed DNA test kit and a photograph she'd never seen before. My dearest Maya, if you're reading this, I'm gone, and you're probably confused. The money is yours, but first, you must know the truth. I've carried this secret for 28 years, and it's time you understood who you really are. Your mother never wanted you to know. She built a perfect life on a foundation of lies, and I was too cowardly to challenge her while I lived. But you deserve the truth about your name, about who gave it to you. The DNA kit is already processed. The results are in a sealed envelope at my lawyer's office, file number 2847. Use the password Lily's Truth to access it. I'm sorry I couldn't be braver in life. Be braver than I was. Love always. Grandpa William. The photograph showed a young woman with Maya's exact eyes, almond-shaped, golden brown, filled with a defiance she recognized in her own mirror. The woman held an infant wrapped in a yellow blanket, standing in front of a small house Maya didn't recognize. On the back, in faded ink, Lily and baby Maya, 1997. Maya's birth certificate said Patricia Chun was her mother, born in San Francisco General Hospital. She'd never questioned it. Why would she? But her grandfather's words echoed. Your mother never wanted you to know. Patricia wasn't her mother? The revelation hit like a physical blow. Every memory suddenly felt suspect. Every I love you contaminated with the possibility of deception. The distance she'd always felt from Patricia, the way her mother's affection seemed performative rather than natural, the comments about Maya's artistic temperament being from your father's side. All of it crystallized into a pattern she'd been too close to see. Maya grabbed her phone with shaking hands and dialed the lawyer's office, not caring that it was nearly midnight. The after-hours service picked up, and she left a message, her voice cracking. This is Maya Chun. File 2847. Password, Lily's Truth. I need those DNA results first thing tomorrow morning. She couldn't sleep. She stared at the photograph of Lily, this stranger with her eyes, until dawn broke over the city, painting her walls in shades of gold and uncertainty. The DNA results arrived via encrypted email at 9:03 a.m. Maya read them 3 times before their meaning fully penetrated the fog of disbelief. Maternal match, Lily Martinez, deceased 1997. Probability, 99.97%. Secondary match, Patricia Chun, legal guardian. Genetic relationship, aunt, maternal half-sister. Patricia wasn't her mother. Patricia was her aunt. Maya's coffee grew cold as she scrolled through the attached documents. Lily Martinez, 19 years old, died in a car accident 3 months after Maya was born. No other family listed. Patricia Chun, 27 at the time, had legally adopted her infant niece and never, not once in 28 years, mentioned it. The betrayal burned hotter than grief for a mother she'd never known. Every childhood memory now wore a mask of lies. Every "you have my stubbornness" from Patricia was fiction. Every milestone, every Mother's Day card, every whispered, "I love you, Mom." All of it built on a foundation of deliberate deception. Maya drove to her mother's. No, Patricia's, Presidio Heights mansion on autopilot, the DNA results printed and clutched in her fist. The Pacific Heights home where she'd spent awkward holiday dinners suddenly looked like a mausoleum of secrets. Patricia answered the door in tennis whites, her smile freezing when she saw Maya's face. "You knew I'd find out eventually," Maya said, her voice eerily calm. "Grandpa made sure of it." Patricia's composure cracked for just a moment, a flicker of something that might have been fear or relief. "Come inside." They sat in the formal living room, surrounded by Patricia's carefully curated antiques. Maya noticed, perhaps for the first time, that there were no photos of her as an infant. The gallery of family pictures began at her first birthday. "Lily was my half-sister," Patricia began, her voice tight. "My father's daughter from an affair. A scandal he paid to keep quiet. She was young, reckless, got pregnant by some artist she barely knew. When she died," Patricia's breath hitched. "You were 3 months old. No one else would take you. What was I supposed to do? Tell me the truth?" Maya's voice rose. "At some point in 28 years, maybe mention that my entire identity is a lie. I gave you everything." Patricia stood, her control slipping. "A good life, education, opportunities Lily never could have provided. I raised you as my own. But I wasn't yours." Maya's tears finally came, hot and angry. "And you made sure I never knew who I really was. My name, Maya, did Lily choose it? Did she hold me? What was her favorite color? What did her voice sound like? You stole all of that from me. I protected you from being the bastard child of a woman who died drunk behind the wheel." The words hung in the air like poison. Patricia's hand flew to her mouth, but it was too late. Maya stood slowly, carefully, as if sudden movement might shatter her. She was drunk. Patricia's silence was confirmation enough. "Get out of my house." Patricia's voice turned to ice, the voice that had controlled Maya's childhood, dictated her college major, criticized her career choices. Gladly, Maya headed for the door, then turned back. "The inheritance, the company's shares, Grandpa left them to me, not you. I think he knew exactly what you were." 3 months later, Maya stood in front of a small house in Daly City, comparing it to the photograph in her hand. 28 years had added vinyl siding and a new fence, but it was unmistakably the same place where Lily had held infant Maya in that yellow blanket. The current owner, Mrs. Rodriguez, had been Lily's neighbor and welcomed Maya with kind, sad eyes. "I wondered if you'd ever come looking. Your mother was a beautiful soul." They sat in Mrs. Rodriguez's kitchen, surrounded by the smell of fresh bread, while the old woman pulled out a box she'd kept for nearly 3 decades. "Lily asked me to hold on to these, just in case. She knew Patricia didn't approve of her lifestyle, her art, her choices. She wanted you to have them someday." Inside were sketchbooks filled with paintings, vibrant, emotional pieces that made Maya's chest ache with recognition. Lily had been an artist, a real one, with talent that blazed from every page. There were landscapes of Big Sur, portraits of strangers, abstract explosions of color that captured emotions Maya couldn't name. And scattered throughout, sketches of a baby. Maya's infant face, drawn with such tenderness it was almost painful to witness. "She loved you fiercely," Mrs. Rodriguez said softly. "Those last months, she was trying to get sober, going to meetings, taking parenting classes. She wanted to be worthy of you." Patricia said she was drunk when she died. Mrs. Rodriguez's expression darkened. "No, sweetheart. Lily was 6 months sober. A drunk driver hit her." Patricia twisted the story, made it easier to erase her. The final lie shattered something fundamental in Maya. Patricia hadn't just hidden the truth, she'd desecrated Lily's memory. But in the box, Maya found something more valuable than the $47 million sitting in her bank account: her mother's journals. Lily's voice, preserved in ink. October 15th, 1997. "I chose the name Maya because it means illusion in Sanskrit, but also water in Hebrew. I want her to be fluid, adaptable, able to become whoever she dreams of being. Not trapped like I was by other people's expectations. My little Maya. My miracle." Maya read through tears, learning about the woman who gave her life and identity. Lily had been Patricia's opposite, warm where Patricia was cold, creative where Patricia was rigid, accepting where Patricia demanded perfection. Reading her words, Maya understood the artistic temperament she'd always possessed, the wanderlust Patricia had tried to suppress, the emotional openness that had been criticized as weakness. Armed with her inheritance and her mother's legacy, Maya made her decisions. She sold her controlling shares in Chun Industries, keeping enough to honor her grandfather's faith in her, but liquidating most to fund something meaningful. She established the Lily Martinez Foundation for Young Artists, providing scholarships and mentorship to artists from difficult backgrounds. She quit her corporate design job and rented a studio space, the same one Lily had used in the Tenderloin, miraculously still available. On the walls, she hung her mother's paintings alongside her own developing work. Patricia called once, 3 weeks after their confrontation. Maya let it go to voicemail. Maya, we need to discuss this foundation. The Chun name. Delete. The Chun name was never hers anyway. She was Maya Martinez, daughter of Lily, inheritor of creativity and resilience. The fortune her grandfather left wasn't just money. It was permission to become who she was always meant to be. On the anniversary of Lily's death, Maya held the first foundation gala. Young artists displayed their work, their faces bright with the same defiant hope she'd seen in her mother's photograph. Maya wore a yellow dress in honor of the blanket in that picture and spoke about second chances, hidden truths, and the courage to claim your real name. In the audience, she noticed a man about her age studying Lily's paintings with unusual intensity. After her speech, he approached tentatively. I think, he said, voice rough with emotion, Lily Martinez might have been my mother too. I was adopted as an infant in 1995. I just got my DNA results back, and there's a match to someone named Maya Martinez. Maya's world tilted again, but this time toward possibility rather than loss. A brother. She had a brother. As they compared photographs and stories, piecing together Lily's short, complicated life, Maya realized her grandfather's final gift wasn't the money. It was the truth, messy, painful, but ultimately liberating. Patricia had built a fortress of lies to create a perfect illusion. Lily, in her brief existence, had chosen authenticity even when it cost her everything. Maya chose Lily's path. She chose her real name, her real legacy, and the beautiful, imperfect truth of who she was always meant to become. If you liked it, subscribe to the channel and enjoy these other amazing stories.